In this training video, we'll be talking about service lines and services. Service lines are used to organize paperwork requirements and are one of 4 criteria used to determine which pay rate to use to pay a service provider for an assignment. I will explain the difference between service lines and services using fruit. Let's say we sell apples and oranges, and we want to charge one rate for apples and a different rate for oranges, regardless of the specific kind of apples and oranges. For example, Granny Smith, Red Delicious, and Golden Delicious apples would all be billed at the same rate. For oranges, you could have Navel, Seville, and Valencia oranges billed at another rate. Using this example, apples and oranges are service lines, and the different variations within them are called services. If you want to charge a different rate for Granny Smith apples, you would need to put it in a separate service line. Let's look at what service lines we have now. We do this by visiting the Service Lines option under the Billing menu. On this screen, we can see the different service lines we currently have. We can create a new one by clicking on the Create a New Service Line button. The first thing we want to do here is give this new service line a name. Let's call this one the Electrical Work service line. Now, let's switch over to the Paperwork Definitions tab. Here we can specify which paperwork definitions are applicable to this service line and whether or not they're required. Let's add the liability insurance paperwork definition to this new service line. If we select Yes for the required field, what this means is that the service provider would be required to have liability insurance paperwork before they can receive electrical work assignments. Clicking on the Save Changes button will add this new service line to the database. Now that we have our new electrical work service line, we need to define the specific services that can be done under this service line. All of these services will be billed at the same rate and have the same paperwork configuration. Let's look at what services we have now. We do this by visiting the Services option under the Billing menu. On this screen, we can see the different services we currently have. We can create a new one by clicking on the Create a New Service button. There are 3 things we need to do here. First, we need to give this service a name. Next, we need to specify which service line this service should be placed under. We will select the Electrical Work service line. The last thing is called the sort index. This is a number. The sort index controls the order in which this service will appear in the list. Services will always be grouped by their service line when they appear in the list. Within those groups, services with a smaller sort index value will appear before services with a larger sort index value. Let's give this new service a sort index value. And that's all there is to it. Now we can click on the Save Changes button and we will see the new service appear in our list. Now that we have a new service line and a service, let's modify one of our current service providers and make the accounts payable paperwork applicable only to this service line. Here we can see that this service provider's freelance pay paperwork allows him to be paid for work performed for any service line. Let's restrict this paperwork to apply only to the new electrical work service line. Click on the Update button here. Switch to the Accounts Payable tab. And in this tab, we can update the service line field by switching it to the electrical work service line. Now let's hit Save Changes. And here we can see that this paperwork and all of the pay rates listed in this paperwork will apply only to assignments under the electrical work service line. This concludes the training on service lines and services.